Hey, let us now develop the push and pop operation for an integer stack.
I will be using NetBeans IDE as well as the Atom text editor and will use the command prompt for compiling the program and running the program.
You can choose your favorite IDE. You can choose CodeBlocks or CodeLights according to your choice. You can choose Visual Studio as well. So let us go ahead and declare the stack type using a structure. Here is the stack type. I need one array for the stack and a top variable. Since we are developing the stack as stack of integers, so the array is of type integer. So let me define the size for the stack as macro. So this is the definition of the structure type stack. So we can create as many as a stack as we need. So now if I just go ahead and declare in this way, then S1 and S2 are two stack objects. Both contains an array, item and a top. So we can just now write the push and pop operation in order to push and pop with this structure object. Here are the prototypes for the push and pop operations. The push operation is supposed to return nothing because it is going to push the supplied value to the stack. So first of all, it should receive the stack pointer. That means the address of the stack object to which it should push. That means it could be any stack object. So while calling the push function, we will be passing on the address of the stack object to which we want to push. And the second one is the integer parameter, the value that we are supposed to push. The pop function is going to return the deleted element, the last inserted element that is going to be deleted by pop and is going to be returned back to the caller. So the return type of the pop operation is integer and it should receive the stack address from which the element is going to be deleted. So the parameter is going to be the stack pointer. So we are done with the declaration. Now let us go ahead and write the operations. The push function should check for the overflow at the very beginning. So the top of the stack object being pointed by the pointer SP should be checked whether it is size -1 or not. If it is size -1, then it's indeed overflow. You must have noticed that I have used this arrow operator because this is the pointer to the object, and in order to access the member of the object using a pointer, we need to use this arrow operator. So in this case, stack is overflow. I'm just giving a message, and then we should return to the caller. Otherwise, if it is not overflow, the top has to be increased by 1. So I'm incrementing the top by 1, and then we need to assign the value at the top index of the array. So here you can see that we have increased the top by 1, and then we are using that top here as the index for the item array. Again, we are using SP arrow in order to access the item array because item array is also declared within the stack object. So we are assigning the value that is supplied here to the top index of the array. Now the pop operation is going to check for the underflow at the very beginning. So if the top is -1, then it's underflow. So we can just print a message and return back to the caller. If that happens, we should return to the caller. Now in this case, we need to return back a value because the return type of pop is always integer. Even if the underflow takes place or underflow happens, then also the pop is supposed to return because the return type has been declared as integer. So when the stack is underflow, we are returning an absurd value to the caller. So if the caller gets -9999, then the caller eventually understands that the stack is underflow. Otherwise, what we should do, we should return the top element. So the value should be fetched from the top element of the item array. So currently the top is holding the last inserted element's index. So we have fetched the value here in the value variable, and then we can just decrement the top by 1 and then return back the value that we fetched from the top element. So we are done with the push and the pop operation. Let me just call this. Say, first of all, we need to initialize the stack. So s1.top is going to be -1 and s2.top is going to be -1 as well. So we are initializing both the top of these two stack objects S1 and S2 to -1. Now for this purpose, this is a mandatory task. For any stack object, you would require to initialize the stack object. So we can just go ahead and write a function in order to initialize the stack object as well. Void init would be a perfect choice, and it should receive the stack pointer. So let me just write the init function. So it's going to initialize the top to -1. So we can just call the init function in order to initialize the stack, and we should pass the address of the stack object. The ampersand operator returns the address of any variable or object in C that we are using. Okay, so the objects are initialized. Now I'm calling the push operation and passing on the address of S1 and pushing 100. Now if I go and call push operation once more for S1 and try to push 200, it's going to be 200 pushed into the S1 object. Let me push into the S2 object as well, and I'm pushing 10. Let me do one more push, 20. Now I can just go ahead and call the pop. So printf. So you need to pass the address of the object from which the pop is going to take place. I'm popping from S1 first, and then I'm popping from S2. So let me go ahead and run this program. Now here you are going to get 200 because 200 was pushed last into the stack S1. Then we are going to get 100 here. So it's going to be 200, and then it's going to be 100, and here it's going to be 20. Last in was 20, and then 10. So I'm running the program now. You can see that 200 was popped first from the stack S1, then 100, and then 20 and 10 from S2. So we have developed push and pop operation for integer stack, and we have written the init operation in order to initialize the stack. Now this stack is actually a fixed kind of stack. Always the size of the stack is going to be 10 elements. Now we can just do it better by allocating the memory for the stack array dynamically, and we'll be doing it in the coming tutorials. Thank you for now.